Second. Wait a second. Wait, is something happening? Right. Hey, look, we got matching turquoise on.
Angel Recca made this one for me. A
Really?
copy of Jimi's ring, but it's green turquoise. I love it. Yeah.
And I got this from you. It's this groovy necklace.
Oh, that's right.
Where did you find this one?
Jerry Spickles, Jimi's manager. After Jimi died, they sent all this stuff to my dad's house, in trunks. Some stuff said, like the Megaland studio. Then I got all his effects and clothes. But
he had a lot of stuff too.
Yeah, but what happened was like most of that stuff got stolen by people that used to come to my dad's house. My dad was kind of like an alcoholic a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. The book.
So every time somebody would come over, groups of people, stuff started missing. In our photo album, it used to be this thick. Last time I looked, there was only like 4 pictures in it.
Oh, wow. They took the photos too.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
It's interesting. I just finished your book and it's a wonderful book. Absolutely. It's a really great read. It's not, I mean, it's, look, I mean, troubled times make for interesting reading. It's crazy. Your childhood is nuts. It's like, I always think of myself as having a difficult childhood because a lot of crazy shit happened, but this is like cubed.
Are you into music? You play music?
Yeah, I played music for a long time. I moved from New Orleans. I grew up in New Orleans listening to blues and rhythm and blues and jazz. And
where can I hear some stuff? That book is only the tip of the iceberg. They followed me around for months. I was on tour in Canada, and the publisher sent this agent to follow me around and try to get me sitting down. But he would ask the questions at the wrong time, and so it took months and months to get all this information in there. But there's a lot more. It's been a journey and an experience.
Jimi had been kidnapped at some point. It's just a lot of strange things happened toward the end of his life.
It was a confidence game. It's a whole story about how he was kidnapped. He was kidnapped, and so here comes the savior, Alan Douglas, to rescue him. So now Jimi has confidence in Alan. But he was also kidnapped by the mafia earlier because they wanted Jimi Hendrix first, when he was first in New York. It's all about, money and contracts and, rights and stuff like that.
One of the things I want to ask about, is this idea of rebirth. One of my favorite songs is Belly Button Window. I mean, to me, that was his master work was Cry of Love.
I know a secret. Jimi was actually more than a musician. In my time with him, I've learned from his lyrics and from what he's told me as a young child about all these reincarnations he had already been through. He lived before the days of ice, came back, found the world was all fucked up, right? He visited the earth in spaceship, he said in 1983, I'm gonna be a merman and live underwater, away from land so battered and torn. And then he said, I don't live today. Then he said, meet you in the next world. In other words, he was showing us that this could be only the beginning of these many experiences we're gonna have in life. Once you're in the circle of life, you can't even get out, even if you wanted to, probably. And then when I went to India and lived in an ashram, and I learned when they had all the prophets on the walls and stuff like that, their most important thing was sound. Because they said in the beginning was sound, not the word.
Yeah, Om.
Yeah, Om. And you had all these religions, you had Jews, Hindus, Christians, Buddhists, everybody from every religion, the Muslim, all worshiping in this ashram, doing the Om, and you could feel the power of the universe when you did that, Had all these religions together, and on the walls they have all the prophets from all the religions. Right? In the middle it says, there's only one God, He was actually a messenger, because he would give us all these hints, about other life and experiences. And when I was a child, this kid knew about the constellations and the star systems and everything, and I've never seen him read a book. In fact, he didn't do good in school at all, but he seemed to have this other knowledge, and even all the great artists of all time. Even Michelangelo used to be a lyricist. He played guitar before he did all that. Einstein solved his problems by becoming a musician. He said after he became a musician, he knew that mathematics was infinite. Carl Sagan said, with our imagination, we are infinite. So it's up to us. We got this power. The universe is our Wi-Fi. We got this power to tap in. Music is a language of God. I'm telling you that right now.
It was fascinating. He's talking about like energy, sound, color dynamics. You know, you're
Oh
talking about,
yeah.
like you have like a 1-3-5 in a major scale, and then you have the 1-3-5 are the primary in the rainbow are like the primary colors. So it's like, and it's all vibration, right? I mean, music's sound is vibration, color is vibration of electromagnetic signals. So it's like finding that there's this pattern to the universe that he was trying to unlock. So it's fascinating stuff.
We all want to hear colors and see music. And you actually can if you really concentrate, you know, but you have to practice, you know, people just can't say, hey, you know, everything, even meditation takes practice, you know. You got to learn how to tap into that universe. You know, the universe is a Wi-Fi. You know, it's awesome.
You know, I was thinking about like that UFO you said you saw that in your backyard with the eye on it.
Yeah, it was like a transformer that I bought my kids in the 80s. You know, transformers didn't even come out. But this was a transformer because it was damaged, but the eye opened up. Now I thought it was an eye because it scared me. I was like 7 or 8 years old or something, right? And it was just buzzing, zip, and it opened up, and I screamed and yelled, and Jimmy was there, and we ran in and told my dad, and my dad got upset with us, said our imagination was going to get us in trouble. But he didn't realize that imagination is our actual power. And it kind of did machine stuff. You know, they didn't have this kind of stuff in the 50s, you know? Whew.
For all you know, that was, you know, Jimmy in the future or some alien in the future coming back to settle a bet. Maybe, you know, what was Jimi Hendrix?
It was a drone.
I love that idea. I don't see why not.
Everything is real and everything is possible. There are no myths and there are no legends. Everything that you have comprehended in your mind is actually real. It's just spiritual, you know, like memories and stuff.
It's also like, you know, like manifestation. They talk about, you know, like about the things that you create in your mind become real because our mind is the source of all things. Our mind is the source of all things that exist because we create it first in our imagination.
We're like demigods. We have power. They gave us power to do this, but nobody actually does it, you know. If you're not thinking about it, you're not thinking about it. You got to be thinking. Thinking is like, you know, looking for a signal, you know, just like our iPhones and stuff. So if you're thinking about it, pretty soon you start thinking more. Just like when you write a song, a couple of days later you're putting more to it, and then more to it, and pretty soon you got the song. You know, just got to practice it. You know.
Now I wanted to also talk about, you know, the humility you guys have. I think that part of that just comes from when you have a really difficult childhood. You can either choose to be bitter and negative yourself, you know, and put negativity out there, or you can have more compassion because you've seen stuff, you've experienced pain, so you have more compassion for others and empathy for others. And I think that's definitely comes through Jimmy's music and through your lives.
It's like we were blessed because, you know, we don't carry resentments, you know, we don't carry poisonous stuff in our minds, you know. So, you know, I'm always calm. Jimmy was always calm off stage. He was really calm, demure. On stage, he could act out, you know.
So I want to talk more about you and your music, what you're doing right now.
I'm just hearing some of my music. I can't believe some of this stuff I already forgot.
Where can people get it?
Yeah, iTunes, Pandora, Apple Music, Spotify, 2 albums on there. I haven't even answered my fans yet. You know, I've only got through maybe 500 last year.
That's a lot. That's a lot to get through.
Yeah, there's thousands more. I got TikTok now, and
I know I saw that.
It's automatically in my phone now, so I can go to Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff just on my phone. So I'm happy. You know, I'm getting ready to go on tour over in France and next month.
What's your inspiration right now for your current music? What are you exploring?
Whatever the Wi-Fi gives me, the universe gives me. I have everything on my album. I have rock, blues, country, jazz, metal, everything. See, when I'm in the studio, whatever comes out, that's what it's gonna be. I'm gonna wait till after this one little tour and then come back and maybe go to the studio and make my new album. It was nice talking to you, and I love you, and don't even know you that well, but I seem I know you.
Thank you, Leon. I appreciate it. Yeah, I always wish that I was a reincarnation of Jimi Hendrix, but we were alive in the same time period, slightly.
Well, it could be a parallel situation.
You know, you never know.
A wormhole. You know, when you go toward the light, it's really a wormhole. You go into another dimension or whatever. There's all kind of there's everything. You might want to come back to Earth. You might have more missions to do here. But you have to imagine what it is for you, because it's our reality and our world that we're imagining. So, but if you're not thinking about your next place to go, you might be wandering around there and not be able to navigate unless you learned it here before you go wireless. If AT&T can store billions and billions of information of all our phone calls all over the world, I'm sure the universe has our own little iCloud, each of us personally, because we're like a computer. Everything, if you put it all in numbers and stuff, if AT&T can do it, then the universe and God.
No, that's a very interesting point, actually, you make, because it's like the iCloud. If you think about like each of our minds or our spirits being in this cloud, literally, we are half here in this universe and we're half in spirit.
It's real. I'm telling you, it's real.
When the phone breaks, what happens? Is the data gone? No, the data's on the cloud. It's the same with you. Your body dies, the data's in the cloud.
You know what they say about our bodies? They call them a tent. That means it was temporary. Love you, man.
Okay. I love you too, Leon. I'll talk to you later.